And the biggest weight that I carried, I don't know if you want to hear all this, Aaron. This is a lot.
I guess it's what you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah. The biggest burden in the most recent time of my life is it was 1 month into the church plant. We had planted the church. We were so excited. All these hundreds of people showing up. It was crazy. In Studio City, it's working in LA. We're 1 month in, and I don't have a worship leader that week. And so I'm like, man, who's going to lead worship? My guy can't do it. And so I called up my brother Jesse, and I'm like, Jess, you got to come and lead worship. He's a great musician. So he's like, okay, let's do it. He drove out from actually Nevada to come and lead worship for us. He's like, I can't find a keys player. And then he's like, I'm going to ask Jake. What do you say? And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. So he calls up my other brother, Jacob, and who lived down in San Diego. And Jake drove up on that Sunday. So it was the first time ever that me and my brothers were on stage ministering together all at the same time. First time ever. My dad's in the crowd. It was fantastic. It was like my dad loves the Lord. You know, he loves worship. So my brothers are leading worship. I'm preaching. Everybody's there. I mean, it was so cool, right? Well, what I didn't know is that 2 days later on a Tuesday morning, my brother Jess would call me and say, they can't find Jake. He's missing. He's gone. And I'm like, what? We were just with him on Sunday. What are you talking about? He was just leading worship on Sunday. No, he's gone. We found out Tuesday night they had found him. He had jumped off the bridge in San Diego, and they had found him. He took his own life. And this is 1 month into the church plant. And I was just with my brothers on Sunday. I thought this was the beginning to them leading worship with me and us ministering together. And it basically stole all of the excitement out of the church plant. It took everything away. It was like, when I reflect on it even now, it's almost like the carpet being pulled so hard that really you can do nothing but just be on your knees and just be like, God, you got to show up, or I'm just going to, fold. Like, forget this whole thing. I don't want to do this anymore. It's not fun. It was the most difficult time, I mean, for sure in ministry, for sure, yeah, in my life, because I'm a pastor. I work hard to save people, and when you can't save your own brother, you ask all the questions why. You're supposed to be building a church. Hey, how are you going to build a church now, and think through all of that? So I preached the next Sunday. And I preached a sermon called I'll See You Soon. And I did his funeral the following week. It was crazy because though it was so dark and overwhelming, I felt the Spirit of God there. And I felt Legacy as a whole, the church as a whole, go like this. It was like the suffering and the pain in my life basically brought us all together as a family. And before you know it, people are now trying to encourage me. They're trying to pray for me. They're all concerned, and they're all together.
They're doing what you felt like your job was to do to them.
It's amazing. It was amazing. So it did steal all the excitement out of the church plant, but I don't know how else to say it. It like sobered up my mind to a place where I was like, okay, this is not a game anymore. Like, we are here to minister in LA. We're here.
Yeah.
To love and serve people. We are here to preach the gospel and see people come to Jesus. And so the mission was more clear more than ever before. But yeah, man, it's been a lot, it's been a lot over the years. I didn't realize how much it was. And then there's all the mini storms, all the way through all of that. But those are kind of the four major storms of my life to this point. And I'm sure there's some more on the horizon. The Lord is our anchor. He carries us through the storm. He is the captain. He is the guide. And he will carry us through. Everyone will go through storms. Everybody will go through pain. But how are you going to get through it without the Lord?
I almost feel like what you're describing with what happened at the funeral, and then also with the church, just kind of closing ranks around you and probably each other.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that this is something that obviously the enemy meant for evil.
Right.
But God had designs to make it for good.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. It's hard to accept it as being a part of God's ultimate plan. It's hard to accept it as being a part of God's ultimate story. It's very difficult to explain the details of it all and how that works into God's plan. But, the cross is difficult to figure out as well, because if you're standing there as a disciple watching the Messiah be crucified and beaten before you, you're looking to the sky saying, how can this be a part of the story? You're the author, like you're the finisher of our faith. What are you doing? But looking back, you see how God can use and, use it for his glory, use it for ultimate good. And of course, the cross bringing salvation to the whole world. But yeah, for me, again, the Lord definitely used all the pain and all the suffering in my life for good. I mean, it's prepared me for thousands of storms in the future. It allows me to be able to empathize with other people. It also helps me to see God's goodness as he carries us through the storms. So it gives me confidence that he will do so in the future. Yeah. What the enemy meant for evil, trying to tear everything down, tear my family down, tear my brother's family down. God can take it all the broken pieces. He can put them back together and make it for good.
Thank you for watching this clip from Eternal Impact. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and catch our full episodes every Tuesday on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Or you can check out our website at eternalimpact.show.